Oh, okay. Okay. Okay, just give everybody else a heads up. On our agenda, in case anybody else comes in a little late, here's our agenda for today right now. Right here. So while we're waiting for everybody else to actually come in right now there's like a few people here and there. And that we only have on our agenda right now for day one. Day one is just gonna be we're gonna wait for about 15 minutes. Right now it's been 9 minutes, so we'll give about a little more. And then we're gonna do the agenda introduction, CMC, which is my company's introduction. Take a break for 5 minutes. Hands-on demonstration too as well. Um, let's see here. Let's see printing. Then CMC purposes. So on the first day, CMC introduction is just basically like introduce a business right now and how it actually began to grow from the Navajo own here at the Navajo Nation. Including myself, I am Navajo as well, but started this production as a manufacturer, which I'll explain that in the CMC introduction. Then the next one, last one's gonna be what's the purpose of it? That'll be until 40 minutes longer. Day two, waiting time again, same thing. Wait for 15 minutes for individuals that comes in, and after that agenda from the one right now we're looking over again. Recycling materials. We're going to discuss that one too as well, different PowerPoint, and also discuss where we use those materials as well. That's going to be hands-on demonstration for 40 minutes on that one too as well, how we implement those ones onto the additive manufacturing, which that'll be shown later on. There was an additional note, so if there was a presentation over time on day one, it will be presented for day two because there's one I forgot to add into it on the agenda was the electronics with additive manufacturing and how it all ties in with the additive manufacturing area. So that'll be later on. Well, it depends on today's day one because we have about 4 hours. So if we start at 10 o'clock up to 1 o'clock, that go from there. Okay, but again, we'll wait about 15 minutes. That'll go from there.
Recording in progress.
Okay. I didn't know I forgot to record that one too as well. That was on, oops, and okay, I forgot to record this one too as well on Zoom, so sorry about that. So I'm doing back and forth on YouTube Live and on Zoom meeting. So everything else should be recorded onto here for 30 minutes. I will be going back, cycling back and forth onto it because the Zoom does allow me to go up to 30 minutes. I'm gonna check my Zoom just in case. So we have until like about 10:45. So give you guys a heads up. Now they go from 10:45 to 10:30, which should be no problem. Then the other one, day two, same thing. Let's see, day two, two session. This is for today and this one for tomorrow, so you have to worry about it. Zoom link is already on there just in case, and I'll send the Zoom link afterwards. Bob Bear close down everything else because I don't want everybody else to see your emails. Okay. And we went over the agenda too as well. So here's the agenda. Day one means I'm going to do like 15 minutes waiting time. That we do introduction for those who are coming in. Introduction agenda. Then a CMC introduction, which is about 40 minutes PowerPoint, or we can make it a little less. Depends how long it's going to be there. 5 minutes break. Then I'm going to switch out the Zoom. Then that hands-on demonstration for 3D printing. That'll be 40 minutes. And after that, the CMC purpose of this 30 minutes or 40 minutes. Then day two, waiting time, agenda, that recycling materials. We're gonna do that. We'll talk about that with the PowerPoint about that one, and the hands-on demonstration, and then closing. Then have that additional note. Presentation will be over the time limit, so it might be one of them might go over too much time. Depends because I was supposed to add in a additional PowerPoint for the electronics. So the reason why how it's all tied in together with this additive manufacturing area or 3D printing. So just give you guys a heads up. Hmm. Okay. Testing, testing. All right. Let's go begin. Um, so far, nobody hasn't came in yet, so that's okay. Oops. Okay. Roger. I'll be right back. Okay. Let me see what's going on. Hmm. All right, let's begin. So, my name is Calcin Nez. I am a owner of the Calsmaker company of 3D printing and also manufacturing and education. And what we do here is basically, as it is that the term is that we do 3D printing and that we do education at the same time for any type of service for the community, Navajo or actually non-Navajos. And after that, we are first actually own a Navajo business for a manufacturing within the Navajo Nation. So the Navajo Nation Economic Development actually knows that I'm the first to actually have a manufacturing here in the Navajo Nation. And after that, right now we're going to discuss some of our 5th anniversary, which is congratulations to us. We're still holding strong. We'll discuss some of the issues along the way. But again, this is our 5 years anniversary that we're open right now, and we're still like expanding a little more further ahead. Then we'll discuss some of the areas about some of the situation right now. So let me get started. I'm going to share my screen right now for the PowerPoint. So right here. So there. Okay. Okay. So again, my name is Kelsey Nez. I live in a small town called Hauck, Arizona, in Navajo Nation, within the border area. And after that, my education right now is I used to go to high school in Sanders, Arizona, which is Valley High School. Graduated from 2011. Then another one was my first college was the University of New Mexico Gallup for 2 degrees, one for certificate of drafting technology and automotive technology for associates. That I graduated since 2015. That next one is the second college. Went to Navajo Technical University's Crown Point for Industrial Engineering Bachelor of Science. That was for 2015. After I graduated UNM, went to the Navajo Tech University afterwards to continue with industrial engineering. That was my biggest passion. Then third college was at the right now I'm going for Purdue University's at West Lafayette in Indiana, sorry, for Mechanical Engineering Masters of Science for graduate level. So I am continuing my class right now at the same time doing the business wise. Okay, so this is the original pictures that we do have right here. This is like very old office that I used to do, but now we have expanded a little more. I'll give you guys a detour down like this is the before picture. This one, hold that for your memory. Go from there. Mention my time. Okay, we're still okay. As an entrepreneur, for a small business, I was focusing toward 3D printing, prototyping, and education. We do 3D printing items that actually like engage with the students or engage with the audience to understand what 3D printing is. Now that implement additive manufacturing, how you actually implement these 3D printing items with the resources that I researched along the way. And after that, those resources actually benefit us, like how we actually make sure that we implement some of the prototypes. So, for example, if you want to try to like 3D print a model, we can do that. We can actually do some assembly prototypes. That was the biggest one, which our biggest resale. And that other one is the beginning to manufacture with the 3D printing right now. That we do a little bit of research and development from there along the way, and that we try to actually let's see how I like to say look into like further detail like how they use additive manufacturing with different materials, and that way it can be used besides using like expensive equipments like CNC, metal cutting. Those I still use, but again, it's still like figure out how we actually go from the first point of A to the first, last to the point B, and then a little further along the way, it's gonna be like a longer expansion from the research and development. Okay, customers, individual projects. We do customers, individual projects here and there, and within the outlet area, just a few here and there. Just like do maybe like a few projects. Maybe we'll show that right now on the table. Now that we do like 3D printing their products, and that way they'll understand like how these 3D printers actually become more advanced. So I am, whoops, a little too ahead. So I am located here at the Napotech Innovation Center at Church Rock, New Mexico. It is at the East Historic Highway 66, next or past the Fire Rock Casino, next to the Rhino Glove Factory. It's this little small building that we're using. It's an incubators offices that's used for beginners business right away. So this is where I'm at right now at the office, but I'll give you guys a detour of it later on. Okay, so why industrial engineer, or why entrepreneur? So the business right now we're doing is a for-profit, and that we have a LLC liability, and that we are the first to actually have a manufacturing business here. And I started from 2011 at high school for a economics class course, actually a course, and we started a project for starting your own business, what your business looks like. And for me, it actually started toward like manufacturing from there, and I kind of like guessed some few areas like, okay, this could be a good source, and that make it like a good projects. And it's kind of understanding like how does it start from the foundation, going above the building it up, and that's how you go from beyond there for management, and that's how you do the business wise concept of going a little more expansion. Now that next one is how to create your actually that's the one. Those three are like the high school area from 2011. How did the direction inspire me is the next one. So at University of New Mexico, when I was on certificate technology, almost at 2015 or maybe 2014, we had our first 3D printer from there, and it was like a big old machine game system, like an arcade that's a little more bigger, but in a small area, it's like a little small printer that's about 8 inches by 8 inches, very, very, or maybe 4 by 4, and it's very, very small, but it does 3D print a little prototype that actually made a whole huge difference of like how this 3D printer actually became more advanced. After that, what was the focus after that? When I went to Naval Technical University, that's when we begin to, or actually I begin to do more research and homework besides just like, oh, let me go buy a 3D printer. No, for me, I had to do a little more further homework, like how you understand the 3D printer, what's the materials does use, what's the materials is easiest one of all, and after that, what type of printers there is, because there's a lot of competition before that. There was like MakerBot, Monoprice, Reality, Enders, the different type of companies that are like competing one another, and which machines actually works for you. That go for the resources, actually like researched it online, YouTube. It was like the first beginners like, oh yeah, this is a best printer, oh this is a good best printer, which one's which. That's the biggest one that got me confused of which one printers actually does the best. After that with the resources, I began to bought my first 3D printer and trying out my 3D printer, began to test out some like prototyping, some like what's the capabilities, understanding a little more of like how it functions, what happens if it does breaks, is there like replacement parts, is the PLA good, is the PLA like it should have been. There's like different more research along the road that was made for, I would say, for like to see what the limitation like destruction, if they want to like put the 3D printer to the limit of like it can handle the speed, the slowest, how much extrusion is gonna go. That's a lot more that's being implemented onto this, or actually resources gonna be on research along the way. Now how far it can actually handle. So my printer, the first one, was a little small one for Monoprice, and it was like a very small one. It was okay, but at the same time, it didn't like. Let's see here. 10:30. Let's see here. Okay, okay, good. But yeah, we got about 40 minutes or 10 minutes right now. Okay, so now implementing resources. I do implement some other resources along the way, which I'll discuss that later on. Now that expanding to a new horizon and an existing horizon one right now, it's a lot more interesting that we are expanding a lot more of how you actually implement these materials. So our goals right now, which is a 4 system right now, actually we got rid of the 4th one. There's a reason what happened. So our first one will be additive manufacturing, and our target goal is the STEM learning. So 3D printing, on the additive manufacturing, we do have a 3D printer, that's good news, but we want to implement a little more further of like how do we actually make more interesting items like silicone molding, casting, implement other methods. We have expanded a little more, so that means we're trying to. I met this person. Hello there. So right now I'm just starting out our presentation right now, so I'm going to continue on. This session is recorded, so you'll check it out on online on YouTube channel. Okay. So like I said, on the implement other methods, we are trying to implement some of the other resources, like for example, using silicone molding, other papers, recycling clothing right now. So we'll show the pictures along the way. Then the next one is the STEM target goal. So we're just focusing on to kindergarten to 12th grade STEM. Let's see, we're still good on time. To high schoolers, and also we do a little more further higher uppers, which is the college level, or it could be individuals that are very interested in the 3D printing, which we'll discuss along the way, like how we actually implement these materials. Then we implement electrical projects. So we do have Arduinos and then Raspberry Pis to actually implement projects to actually combine 3D printing to make little robotics, using demonstration how to actually use these materials to actually go with a little more further ahead. So we do have one that is a hydroponic system. We made one right away that is very good, but we're still like a little bit rocky here and there. It did success, but then at the same time, we'll discuss about the forest resource. Rovers, we do have like we don't do drones right now because we're not licensed to do that. But at the same time, our drones or rovers, we do actually make those ones like low ground 4-wheel drives. We actually like implement those ones in clean robotics as well. And the other one is they implement other additive manufacturing with those ones with the robotics. Next. There we go. So last one is going to be the recycling going hydroponics. So recycling, that one what we're going through right now is just the foundry system where we melt down non-ferrous metals, for like example, aluminum, copper, brass, and a lead. Those are when we're trying to melt it with our own foundry system. Papers and cardboard, we are doing a recycling papers, so actually implement those 3D printing with the pulps, so we'll discuss it later on. Clothing too as well, we're recycling clothes too. That's very interesting, we're getting to that resource right now. Rubber, we're still trying to work on that one to actually figure out how we actually implement rubbers with the additive manufacturing, but that was along the way. And another additional will be the ceramics, we're trying to get to that one later on in the future, and also implementing some of the resin materials with it as well. So the last one was the hydroponics going green. So this one we actually stopped doing hydroponics right away. Now we'll discuss another slide right away about recycled materials. But yeah, we're thinking about going green with a hydroponic system. We planted our first grass. We tried vegetables, which was a success. We're thinking about going to using the trees. There was another individual that his name is Joshua Toddy. He owns a very small business for Hojo gardening. So he does all these 3 functions about a little more advanced areas. But for me, I'm trying to get to like implement how you use technology with the hydroponic system and going green. Now that you're using electronics, now we can actually implement some of the electronics like adding sensors, humidity, water control level, water management, and how you actually indicate the moisture sensors. If it's like goes dry, we can actually implement those hydroponic system sensors. Some sample examples that we have done so far recently. So these are we are manufacturing here at the CMC. We 3D printing trophies. So this is what for the Gallup-McKinley County high schoolers. We 3D printed about 35 of them, and we gave it to the high school students for a dual credit from Naval Technical University. And these individuals, they do like the prototype that we 3D printed right away. And it was like a little more toward a combination of like resin printing and 3D printing right now. So this was an example that we have done right now. So we are doing like trophies examples though. So we're trying to implement other resin, 3D printing, plastic, recycling plastic, and wood too as well. So we're trying to get down very interesting. Next one is this one right here is the Zero Robotics from St. Michael's High School or community school. So that one's a little trophies that a teacher wanted me to 3D print because I noticed that his printers, they do have more over there, but they needed a more additional because some of the students are using their printers, and we have some example printers here that we can actually expand a little more. This one was at the Navajo Technical University, so we're doing prototypes over there to actually make Navajo themed toys. So this is a puzzle piece that you take out the puzzles and insert the components from there. And this is a good example that we actually trying to implement implement both the Nate culture and within the 3D printing parts as well. So this is a little more expansion, of which I'll show the pictures a few more. This one was for a Navajo individual from a media. He was a camera or photographer, as was photographer, and his parts broke apart or it broke. And here he knows that I have a 3D printer here. We did a little prototype, and then we 3D print a component, and then this is for his PLA for a temporary, and then he switches it to PETG, a lot more stronger material. And this is the prototype that was before that when she was demonstrating. So we cut a little more sectional, a little more rounded because we have to follow the standards for child safety. So any kids that actually grab some areas, those the other previous parts are like a little bit sharp corners, too much rigid. While this one's like smooth texture, a little more easy for the grasp for them to actually easy to get to, and also a lot more easy for them to actually put the shapes inside. Okay, conclusion right now. This is my YouTube channel right now if you guys want to check it out, and also our website with the CMC, and also my email address too as well. Okay, and also with the scanning code, you gotta just scan around, and that's it. So I'll have about 3 minutes before I send individuals more the Zoom link. So any questions, any comments? Okay, if not, okay, 10:37. Okay. Since I have a few minutes, I'm gonna go backwards. So on the hydroponic system for the grassing, so I still have a little more time to discuss about that one. So that one we tried to do with what we were continuing doing hydroponics, but in the Navajo Nation, I found out that you need a license to do that, to do hydroponics. And it has to be like a thorough training for over there. I'm not sure why the reason they had to get rid of it, but a little more further, I did understand their reason why they needed to be licensed. So if you do hydroponics or microgreens, which means that you grow seeds into the water, there is like some molding that's going on, or also contamination within the microgreens, which cause like the I forget what's it called, the disease that was being used for the lettuce. They had to get rid of that one. Since it has some type of disease onto it. So it's kind of very dangerous. So I understood what they're talking about, but that had to be licensed onto it. And also too as well, we're trying to like implement using materials within the hydroponics, but at the same time, they said that we needed a license to actually accomplish that one. So I did study the hydroponics in Arizona State, Arizona universities, I think the name, and it was Arizona gardening. Got trained for that one for like lettuce and also hydroponics. Another one will be Joshua Toddy. He does a Hajjo gardening center too as well. So that was one of the biggest one that we did got rid of it. We do have some pictures about how we actually did our grass along the way. Might be in there, but if not, I think I have to put those pictures from the previous time that we did it since 2019 during the pandemic. Yeah, about 1 more minute. Any questions? Okay. And also, too, though, give everybody else a heads up. We're trying to switch around the Zoom, so I'm just up to for 40 minutes. So I'm gonna switch around, do another one again. That way, it'll be going from there. But I have an agenda right now. We have, let's see here. Yeah, right here on our agenda. So we have about next one about 10:45 to 11:30. Oh, 10:45. Oh, good. I still have more time right now. Then this morning we discussed about the agenda. So we did like 15 minutes waiting time to see if individuals does come in. Then we have the agenda introduction, introduces myself, CMC introduction, which we now did it right now for 40 minutes. We need to take a break about 4 or 5 minutes right now. So maybe say I can take a break right now, log everybody else out, and then we're gonna do a hands demonstration now. So this is the fun part. So you'll see the prototypes here on the table. We got them set up ready to go and go explain from there. Yep, we gotta go from there to the next one right now. Let me go invite everybody else on the same thing again on the link and go from there. And after that, CMC purpose, we're gonna discuss that one next on the other slides. So that'll be next one too as well. So let me go exit out right now and go from there. Let's see. Let me go end meeting right now. So let's go continue with the next one. I'll also resend it again, the link, then log into that link and come in from there.
Record.
Okay. 10:45. Implementation. Oh no, not this one. Disconnect. So 11. What was it? 11:30. Okay, start that.
Recording in progress.
And I don't think everybody's gonna be using that same number, so it's gonna be refreshed. And this is gonna be only one time use. Okay, no recording, that's okay. Our session is doing okay. Alrighty then. Now we get to the fun part right here. I'm trying to see if there's anything else left. No, oh yeah, my life. Okay. I'll unmute myself just in case. We're gonna take a break for 5 minutes. Okay, good. Okay, good. Oops. Come on. Trying to like go around with the laptop with the touchscreen is not really fun. Also, do we have like issues this morning with our technical issue? So that was the biggest one because yesterday we were preparing it. It went fantastic. That's good. But at the same time, here and today was like a nightmare. We couldn't get to the other laptop. It was like a nightmare. We couldn't even log into our other research. We had to reset the password. Now we have to reset another password again. We have to reset another password. So it's like a nightmare. Ugh. Don't like the laptops. Good technology, but not the best. And right now I'm trying to like, navigate through the laptop too as well. Like also the touchscreen that's very sensitive on this keypad is like not even good too. And don't worry, for those that coming in, we do record these ones either by Zoom or we're on YouTube Live. So these are all recorded. So just in case anyone else wants to like go back into it again, we are recording them and they will be recorded along the way. So okay, 10:45. I'm trying to look for other individuals that are still coming in. Let's see, my phone. We're still okay up to about 11:30. So right now it's gonna be 10:45 up to 11:30. So let's continue from here. Now we're gonna get to the interesting part. So you're gonna go see me. Actually, you're gonna see these stuff right now. So let me expand a little more backwards. This is I'm using a different camera, so maybe I can just rearrange it somehow. I think we're still okay, yeah. Yeah, well, you guys can see the whole thing. Okay, I'm gonna bring it a little more forward then. Up. Right in the Okay, good. We're gonna do about a few more minutes. Oops, I'm gonna share. Actually, I'm gonna do my camera. Actually, it is camera. Okay, cool. All right, then we'll go by wait for a few more minutes. So I'll just give you a heads up. Now, I give you a heads up too as well. For others are on you're on YouTube Live too as well. So there's gonna be both recordings either by Zoom and also YouTube Live. So in case others missed the videos, don't worry, they're all recorded either by Zoom or by YouTube Live. Follow us on our YouTube channel; it'll be on there too as well. So to give you a heads up. So right now you're getting to the fun part right here. Actually, what's going on here? We're having issues with our camera. There we go. Okay, so hopefully you see the camera on our screen. So I kind of expand a little more. So give me a thumbs up if you see the whole entire screen, not your little small one on top. Let's see. Trying to figure out how to get it going. So everybody else can see the whole thing. Okay, that's good. I'm gonna move it a little more further that way. Good, perfect. Okay. Let me see if they're waiting for other individuals. I think we're still okay. Okay, cool. All right, then. Let's go begin right now because we're using the Zoom for 40 minutes, so I have to go switch it back up, back and forth. So it's gonna be a tedious process to sending in links after links. So, but again, don't worry, it's recorded, so yeah, we can actually backtrack it and then you can look back into the videos. All right. So on the table right now, in front of on the camera, we do a lot of different process here. So I'm gonna break it down little by little of what we have done here. So from the previous slide, we actually explained that we do 3D printing manufacturing. Also, we do 3D printing education. So this is an example of what we have done recently before. And I thought I'm gonna go break it down from you guys here and there. I'm gonna go move my laptop a little more further. So that way you can actually hear me clearly because I don't have a mic on here. So go back here. And perfect. All right, cool. All right, so onto the table from this side, let's go start from the first beginning right here from this row. These ones were actually, this one here is from the high schoolers from the STEM program for dual credit. And these ones, these students actually create the 3D model. We teach them about computer drafting, how to do like engineering introduction of like prototyping and how that actually works. So we teach them about CAD first, actually, which is called computer aided drafting. It's a 3D software that uses a drafting technology. Before they used to do hand drafting pencil with a 2D paper. Now we actually do a 3D modeling, which is the 3D version to actually teach them or actually create a 3D replica of a part that you want in a three-dimensional, and that you actually transfer to a certain files that you actually either 3D print, CNC, or actually use a NC file, which is like numeral controllers, which is usually a 2D functional, like a pixel. So this is the one we actually did right now with the high schoolers. So first one was a little small ones, the little prototypes that we did recently with the pipes, some of the fixtures, and go from there. Then we're going a little more expansion of like making them a little bit larger of how it looks like. So we did a little more like prototyping. So these students actually made some oil body pump. This is the fixture mounts, and this is the mounting for two pieces right here to see if the bolts does fixture along the way. See what happens if we do like washers and do one without the washers. And that the next one is the doing prototyping scales too as well for like testing to see how the 3D printer can actually do limitations. Like for example, using the MakerBot, see if it does come out like as is. So this is the MakerBot and how it came out. That from there we actually test like how tall can it go from there and how small it can actually handle it. So this is the smaller scale from here compared to the larger scale. These students actually learned a lot actually how it looks like from there, including overhangs too as well. I don't have the other part. I forgot that one behind my office. But at the same time, to actually explain to them like, can you 3D print it without the supports? So we okay, let's give it a shot, see how that goes. And that they teach the students like how it's important to actually understand the 3D printer's limitations. Sometimes it can 3D print some areas versus it cannot 3D print some of those limitations. So students have to understand how it comes from and where they actually implement these ones. Now on the other side, we do 3D printing for the business right now, we do like 3D printing samples and example like how big and how small we're trying to. So right now we're got expanding a little more. So we actually concentrate a little smaller before since 2019 during the pandemic. Now we got with our new equipment and 3D printers right now, we expand a lot more larger right now. So we actually expand a little more. We begin to like make things a little bit larger, a little more bigger, and then we actually make things interesting. So you notice from the Godzilla scales from the smallest one to the biggest one, including the T-Rex skulls to as well the biggest one. And our first prototype was the Snap grid system, like a connection. So all you do is like, this is my first prototype. We do connect it, disconnect these ones again, disconnect it, and you got to make individual shapes. Same thing with this over here with the other color with the yellow and blue. We begin to expand a little more larger, and we actually implement the larger pieces right here. Including this tool as well, we got to make a little basket, make that one too as well. Then the education too as well was the robotic arms. So we did like in camps right now here at the Innovation Center. And after that, we actually teach them about robotics, how it functions. And we teach them about how it actually ties these over here again to actually teach them like how does it actually print, how it actually does very well from like connections, tolerances. We get a little more explanatory of like how it actually or 3D print. We do little houses to see what they can print, like little small ones to little bigger ones. Then teach them about how the process goes through. So it's like time, material, cleanup, how it's going to function along the way along this area, and how you do the post processing first from the first beginning. That will understand like, okay, so you need to do the scale, you need to do the modeling correctly, see if it's correct. Make sure you actually add in supports and see what happens from there. There's a lot of like interesting teachings that those individuals they do like it. So we start from kindergartens to high schoolers. Now that we do like a little more adults, so that's good news. We actually have some up here and there. Now the next one, this side right here, we do a little more expansion. So this is our own 3D printing company right now. So we do have a two system. So we actually have a 3D resin printer, which is that machine over there in the red color, which is this guy. And our two printers over there too as well. The other ones that the maker bought that's owned by the Karma, which is Kenya Advanced Rural Manufacturing Alliance. And those are the ones that actually have their maker bots. But for me, I use my own personal printers, and I have some in the back too as well at the office. So these are the ones that we actually manufacture, and also we actually do the 3D printing camps here and there. But we'll start with the manufacturing part. So we manufacture some of the interesting items. For example, we manufacture like prototyping, so we do like a pipe assembly to see how their components did broke. So I noticed that one person came in, his pipe was broke, and then actually we 3D scan it, and that this is what it looks like from there to actually see like, okay, there's a reason why it broke. Not because of we like look at the scale, we want to know why it broke from the inside, and we notice that the inside is a little more thinner than the outside. So I'm gonna bring this guy a little bit closer. As you can see from the thin wall, a little bit skinnier, and that's why they actually like make these components a little more cheap. But we actually make some a little more replace it, so we actually re-engineer it to actually do the 3D modeling, go into the foundry, and then remelt it. Next one we do is actually 3D print some other components as well. We actually make some fixtures for like screws, nuts, and then the other screws. Make some fixtures for your like office appliances. So if it's like office pencil, pens, these are the slide in and slide out, slide in. It'll be easier for you to do. Now that for the next one is the educational parts as well. Do 3D print like markers, erasers, holders, fixtures too as well. Double check, let me get in, good. Now the next one is our files. We actually make some files for chainsaws for individuals because I notice that files are not even sold separately. Then we make the other fixtures as well, phone stands, and other prototypes as well. We actually do prototypes with the Hogan. So this is the Hogan house that we actually 3D print modeling. Let me get that a little bit more closer. So now this is the entrance way. This is the hallway, what it looks like from there. Then to the top view of how it looks like from the grid system, from the Hogan system. So this is a larger one. It is about 70 feet by, no, it's like both equal ways. I think about 82 by 82, maybe around 83 feet. And it's the house, and the walls are about 8 feet tall. So this is what it looks like from the 8 feet tall visually, and how it looks like from there when you walk around there. So there's like a little bit of tolerances from the inside. So you notice from this one is the kitchen area within the hallway going through there to there. Then they're going the other ones as well from the rooms. As you notice, we got a little more details with the interesting areas, including the closet too as well, making it a little more smaller. We actually see how it actually handle the tolerances. Fine, we're still good to go. Except for my charger. Whoops, I need to bring out my little charger. That's okay. We should be just fine. Should be just fine. Then we do some little more prototypes too as well. We make some other interesting items too, which is the, for example, the bag clip right here, and also the bag clipping right here for smaller ones for like small details. So whenever you slip into the items, it'll hold onto it. Same thing with this guy, another fixture. It'll go to these two loops and then another loop right here to make a good fixture. And also with the climbing equipment too as well, some individuals want to like do like climbing equipment. So this is what it looks like for the prototype, going a little smaller, little hoop going back and forth. Then they went on a little more bigger, then we actually expand a little more larger ones right here. So it's a little bit rough here and there. We're using the other makeup bot 3D printers though. This is what it came out. Then the other one from the PowerPoint, we actually do like trophies. So this is an example. So we do like 3D printing prototypes first on this orange one right here. So this is the orange prototype. See if everything else does picture right away using the PLA as a prototype, see how it works. Then we get to the last one, which is this guy right here. So this is the trophy that the high schoolers did graduate with. So this is the one for the high schoolers for let's see, STEM dual credit Navajo Technical University 2023. So still you can see some letterings, and this is what came out from these trophies. So you might see that on the previous slide. Then we do manufacture ones for the other individual from St. Michael High School for Michael Green. This is the one of his prototype. He wants me to actually 3D print some of these and also manufacture some repeated components. So there's a caliper that's being made from his school and also his students. So this is just slide in, slide out. But with his 3D printers is like limited, but we do have 3D printer here, so we actually manufacture a lot more. Next one too as well is our keychains too as well for the CMC. So if you're here in person, you would got these free keychains for individuals. So we do have the manufactured these right here, which is inside this Navajo basket. A lot of these now keychains. So if you're here, I will give to you for free. So let's give you a heads up. Then the other one is the drill bits, and also with the horse tools, we do like a little more prototype with the animals. That's along with too as well for Navajo themed toys. So that was coming along too as well. That's still in the work process. And also prototyping too as well. This is a little trash bin for your desks. So if I was gonna get this guy right here in the desk right here, I hope you can see that. Nope, can't see it from another camera. The way I got it. Actually, where am I going? Oh, okay. So this is one right here for the table, picture and flip, and just slide in. This is your little bin for your office table. So it'll go like different adjustable sizes, adjust the size in the back. We're trying to work with that with the product, but it's not current like fixed on there. This one too as well with the laptop stand. Make it a foldable laptop stand right here. Closer. So it just collapses itself, folds itself, takes it apart, fold it back. And it does hold up a lot of weight onto it. So we can throw my laptop onto there. But still in the process of like making it work out on itself, still hold on itself too as well, including opening itself on the laptop. A little more beefier at the edge, but again, has some good grip at the end of it. Nothing fell down, so still good too as well. But still in the works of it because it's still a prototype. We're still trying to make the bolts a little more less bolts. Okay. Now the last one is, or next one is the resin printing. So this is another one too. So we do resin print some of the items as well. So we noticed that we actually got this a little more advanced. We make a little more like interesting items from the Gila monster right here, from the biggest one to the smallest one. So this is my favorite one. So actually we actually manufactured the little Gila monsters. Then we manufacture some of the other components like the buffalo. So some individuals, they do order some buffaloes like a little micro scale. So we order them from there. Sometimes they want as with a base, but sometimes they want to have it like this because they do little miniature models as well. So without a base, it'll be easier for them to actually put onto the model scale. So that's an individual was looking for that one too as well. Do a little prototyping too as well. We do prototype some of the fixtures to see what's the limitation of the resin printing. So compared to this guy right here, it does have a little more interesting for the 3D printing, but compared to the other one, it does have a little more advanced area, which is the holes fixture. So once I get a little more closer right here, you notice that the holes became very, very micro. If the auto focus does work, but again, you can actually see the holes. It does like give a more advanced tolerances here and there, including jewelries too as well. We actually do jewelries for individuals from Navajo. I think it was like Wonder Rock. I forgot what their company was. They do Navajo jewelries. They want to do a resin printing material. So this is what it looks like from the 3D printing model from the black, and the other side is the resin material, which came out fantastically. Fine details of it. Wish the camera was autofocus so that way you can actually look a little more closer. And compared to this guy right here, it does look like a mess from the inside, a little bit dirty, but this one came out very clean and very accurate too. Some of the other ones as well with the jewelry neck earrings too as well. So here's the earrings. Same thing as well, vice versa. The inside maybe look clean, but compared to the outside, not really. This is a bit rough. But this one right here came out very clean right now. So our popular brand was the resin. Came out fantastic, right? Including models as well. We're now trying to get to a D&D, which is Dungeons and Dragons. So we end up printing these individual components, which is these dragons. One of the individuals, they were interested in like making dragon scales. We actually have some small ones in the back of the office, so we'll continue with the tour with that one right here. But we noticed that these ones are the models that they want, the clear versus the solid base, whatever they want. Depends on if they want to like repaint the surface. Including the other ones as well, making game models for D&D. This is an example too as well with this guy from the small scale to the large scale. Notice the details of it actually came out very fantastic, but very interesting. You have to be careful like how well it actually handled the brittleness. But again, this one we're trying to like, make one with a base of it too as well. Including my personal favorite too as well, the elephant from the Lord of the Rings. So you notice the fine details of it, from the young men's to the elephant itself. So this one came out very fantastic. We do love these ones. This was our popular branch as well. So all these it does depends like what they have to look for online that we got to 3D print them and we got to manufacture for the individuals depending on what's the number of limitation is. Then that's one in the back too as well. In the back too as well, we actually do a little more advanced engineering concepts. So we're trying to like get some interesting components, supplies, materials. We have the equipment here, which is the electronics, which is Arduinos and Raspberry. We do have that. Printers too as well. We do have them. It's just the fixtures, which is the advanced components. For example, this is the single arm robotic arm, and this one was almost completed, but we were missing some of the other areas, which is the pipes. Then we do have some of the motors right here that's come out, which is the third motors down below. We got that ready to go too as well. And it's just that we're missing is the rubber tension from here, some of the fixtures down below, which is the servo mounts right here at the end of it. So we're still trying to fix that error. And the last one is the Arduino. So I think we do have some supply Arduinos in the back. It's just that we're missing some of the components, like making this fixture completely back and forth, getting other fixtures like the bearings that just slide up and down. So we're still working onto it. It's just that you see the cost of our financial issues right now. So the next one is the other components as well. This is our interesting items, which is the egg assembly. So this is one of what our interesting items. So we got the components. It's just that we're trying to make this a little more bed frame, a lot more expansion. We kind of made it too small. That this guy's a little bit too small for the tolerances right here. So that was the next project we're trying to get to right now. And last one is this guy right here. This one's a metal prep. It came out anyways. But this one came out, this is for a metal press right here. So that one actually give you the definition. So this is what it looks like for the fixture. This is the handle that goes on the sides. And this one goes in between there. There's a tightness tolerance going on the top. So it'll just adjust the height from up and down. And that's the one you actually adjust the height. And this one gives like a honeycomb texture right here. So this is or actually like a diamond fixture on top of it. So this has an interesting texture onto it. And that one you can actually blend the metal pieces together, and it gives you the other texture that makes an imprint from there. Level 3, we're still good. All right then. So now with the 3D printers too as well, we do have 3D printers at the office. So there's the components right there, but we do have more in the back. We have the larger ones, which is the Replicator Plus. That one's still okay, but we do have the Z18, which means that it's a 12 by 12 by 18 inches above, so it's a little more taller. So that's the one we use for this taller guy right here. And we're trying to implement one with the T-Rex head if they want to like 3D print a larger one. So still working on that one because of the material usage onto it. So that's the one thing. Then another one was the new printers. So we do have like two more printers back there, which is the Monoprice, and then the other ones that are Creality, which is our favorite brand of all. We're trying to order that one too as well. That one's coming up later on in the future. Then we're trying to implement some of the materials, which is the PLA. That's until the next slide later on in the future. Level 4, we're still good. All right then. I think that's it. Any questions, any comments? Oh, one more thing too as well. We forgot. So this was our favorite one too as well from the high schoolers. So this one was the prototype that we did. This is a coin bank. So this is like a slider. So you drop the coin on top, it'll drop down and actually goes back and forth into this one using a wood prototyping. So we just use it as a prototype. Then the interesting part was that they wanted to make one as a theme. They love video game theme. One actually got really creative to actually make it more interesting. So this is the one right here. Very interesting one too as well with the actually I'm gonna bring this guy a little more down. There we go. So this is the one that actually make one too, as a game theme of the Mario and Kong. So this is the interesting one that he actually made it himself. Very, I do like it. We do have the materials and colors too as well, so we noticed it. And then with the insert coin on top, that was great too as well. I'm gonna admit one person too as well. Admit. Okay then. Okay, you're on mute right now, so we're with the audience. So just give you a heads up on that one. And you're here as well to the world. So right now it's like 11:05. We're trying to hurry up. Our Zoom meet is gonna be ending over about 11:30. So to give you a heads up on that one too as well. Right now we're just discussing about hands-on activities like what we have done recently right now. For those that came in, so we're just starting from the educational part from the high schoolers that we did with dual credits. Then go from the other side. I'm gonna move this guy out of the way. Was over here at the Innovation Center teaching about how they actually implement different sizes, how it functions with the 3D printing, and how it functions with other components, so with prototyping. Then this one will be our own, we do, or actually that side too is what we do, like a little 3D printing camp that's here at the Innovation Center. We have a few camps here and there to actually teach them about 3D printing, robotics arms, and go from there. Now the last one is the manufacturing components that we do have resin printing 3D printers here. So the MakerBot is theirs from the Karma, which is Kenyatta Advanced Rule Manufacturing Alliance. There we go. I lost the words from there. But the other one's from the other side on the far right is my personal printers that is here at the facility. So we are expanding a little more. That we do a little more prototypes here and there from the making manufacturing components, and that making resin printing as our first of our popular item. Now the last one was the high school students too as well. We actually began doing hands-on activities with this guy right here, which is the bank coin sorter. So we started from the first one, which is this little wooden one as a demonstration to see how big it is, how it functions, and how it actually works with dropping the coin. Then another individual student, he actually made this one right here as a theme game. So that was a very interesting one. But actually for now, actually next one we were discussing was that the what happened to this one. So he didn't like it very much because of the materials that we selected. So this one's supposed to be flat on the backing, and compared to this one right here, you notice there's a slight curve onto there. You notice that. So apparently it was my fault. That was my error because I left it in the vehicle, and it was on a hot day, and the board warped with the sun. So that was my fault. That was my error. Don't worry, we actually made another one with different material. It was a compressed board, so then we got to use that one. But he changed a little more differently because we noticed that the coin does get stuck along this right here, or that it got stuck like around, I think it was around somewhere around here. I think it was toward this area, yeah, toward with Mario, because he's a little more, we're trying to make them flat as possible, but it ends up like having a little more a bit onto it, like a, so my finger's like a little more bit, so it's kind of like the coin gets stuck along this way, so we end up having like failures here. But it's okay, it's like a lesson learned. He actually learned about how to do this one again. Next one we're trying to do like a little more game theme of these coin banks, and also we're trying to figure out how to actually get the coins out at the bottom. So that was the end point. That was good news, but we're trying to figure like, so how do we get the coins out and also in at the same time? So that was our error. So we need to go back to like scratch, square one. So just that one. That's what we have done so far right now. Just give you guys a heads up. So right now on our agenda, since we have time about 11:08. So this morning it was about the I think this is the wrong one. Let's see. Actually, well, either way works. Okay, so we showed the agenda this morning right now. So this morning it was waiting time for about 15 minutes. Luckily it was we do have like technical issues here and there, but it's okay. Just give you a heads up, we're live for both platforms. We're on Zoom and also YouTube live. So individual might be looking at this right now. Then agenda introduction on my side. So introduce myself. Then we do the CMC introduction. We did a little PowerPoint. That one a little more 40 minutes. That one was done. Previous one we did a little like 5 minutes. And right now we're doing the hands-on demonstration here. So after that, the next one is a CMC purpose. We want to continue with that one with the PowerPoint, but at the same time we might be running out for about 40 minutes, or actually 11:30. Because right now we're using Zoom. But it's gonna be 40 minutes right now, because right now we start at 11:45, and it's gonna be over at 11:30. And I think we still have time for 11:09. And also too as well, additional note down below, some presentations might be over time. I think I can do that right now, because the other PowerPoint might be a little more longer than half. The other one's gonna be about overtime, because again, we've got to include one for electronics on how you actually implement those ones. That'll be till later on. I think we discussed that a while ago too as well. So I need that filled in the gap from there. I think we're still okay on our timing, so I think we're still good. We're still good. Okay, I think we can continue on right now since we did the hand demonstration right here. A little more advanced here and there. Any questions, any comments? So far, nobody responded back down to that one yet. Individuals are still slowly coming in. That's okay. That's good. Then after that, from there, that's it. I think that's it. I'm gonna go stop my PowerPoint right now. Actually, I'm gonna go stop that video thing. So I guess we still have time right now, so we actually fill in the gap for the agenda. So I'm gonna go do that one. Let me go take a break first for 5 minutes. Then let's go do our PowerPoint. That'll be the next one. Let's see here, right here. Let's see here. Escape. Actually, yes, we do have time for that one. Let's see, where's the mouse? There we go. There we go. And I lost the mouse somewhere. Where'd it go? Good. This will be the next one. So let me do about 5 minutes break. 11:11. Okay, we're still good. I'm gonna do about 5 minutes break.